Good day, yogis, and welcome back onto the mat with me for today's Yin Yoga sequence. So this sequence is aimed at beginner yogis, so if you've never tried yoga before or you're a first timer for Yin Yoga, then this is the practice for you. We're going to go through a very gentle and restorative practice this morning, and all you're going to need for your practice are a couple of yoga blocks or bricks. If you don't have those, you can just grab a thick book, and that can be used as a prop as well. And you're going to use a bolster today, and a bolster you can also substitute with a couple of pillows. So you can go grab hold of those props and then meet me on the mat. So coming onto your mat, bringing your hands into prayer pose, begin to rub your palms together, generating some warmth between your palms, and then rest those palms into your heart center. Take a moment here as you connect inward, as you find your breath by taking a few deep inhales. Big, deep inhalation and exhalation. Allowing yourself to settle into the space and onto your mat. Preparing yourself to become present during this practice and setting an intention. Whatever you're working with at the moment, just set that as your intention for the practice. And then taking a last deep inhale. And as you exhale, sigh out the breath. Bring your hands down to your knees. Take a few more moments here, just connecting to the breath, following your inhalation and your exhalation. Just noticing how you have arrived on your mat this morning. Whether or not there's a calmness within you or you're feeling anxious about stuff to do, allow all of that to just drift into the background now. Bring full awareness to the breath, beginning to notice the subtleties of your breath. Are you inhaling and exhaling fast or slow? Or are you able to fully surrender this morning and allow the breath to breathe you? Almost the dance with the breath and the consciousness of it. Taking a last few inhales. And on your next exhale, you can gently flutter your eyes open, coming back into the space that you're in. So for those that have never tried Yin Yoga before, Yin Yoga is based on the Chinese philosophy of working onto the meridian lines. And many of the postures within Yin, or all of them, shall I say, are connected to one or two of the meridian lines or more, and they help you to balance the energy flow of Qi. So the theory of Yin Yoga is that we long hold the postures. So we go into much fewer postures and then hold them for 3 to 5 minutes long, even longer depending on the practice. And the reason for this is because we bypass all of the muscles and we're looking for the connective tissues, the ligaments, and the fascia. Now, the layer of fascia is the cling film that really holds your body together. If you were to remove the bones, the organs, basically everything, you would still be left with an intact body of fascia. So this giant organ really keeps the body together, and this practice of Yin Yoga allows us to keep fluidity within this layer of fascia. Also, the connective tissues and the ligaments, which are holding bone onto muscle, those are also vitally important to keep fluid and to keep moving. So in today's practice, we're going to move straight into the the postures. So in Yin Yoga, there's no warm-up. You move directly into the shapes while the body is still cold. And you work to 3 principles in Yin Yoga. And those are, first of all, to find an edge. And the edge must be appropriate. And appropriate is about a 5 to a 7 out of 10. So it's not a 10 out of 10 or a 12 out of 10. It's a 5 to a 7, somewhere appropriate for your body. So you really need to learn to listen to your body. It's not about what the person is doing beside you. It's about what is your body saying to you. So if you get into a pose and you feel like it's instantly a 12, you need to peel yourself back and adjust by the use of using props and various things to come into that 5 to a 7 out of 10. Secondly, the second principle is to hold the posture. So we long hold these postures because we want to bypass muscles and we want to get into connective tissues, ligaments and fascia. And then the third principle is to hold in stillness. So this means that the practice is very meditative. It's a practice of going within. So I find that Yin Yoga is also a beautiful restorative practice. So I invite you to join me today and to see for yourself. So we're going to move straight into the practice and into our first pose, which is called butterfly pose. So for this pose, you can bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Now, bear in mind that you need to roll onto your sit bones. So if your pelvis is slumping backwards, I encourage you to get a rolled up blanket or a towel and place that under the buttocks. So the first thing we're looking at is rolling onto the sit bones. Then we're joining the soles of the feet together to touch, and we're going to fold the body forward. So this is not like our traditional cobbler's pose where we're bringing the chest down towards the feet. Here we really allow the whole of the front body to melt forward. This is where your props can now come in handy. So if you've got a bolster or a few pillows, you can place that underneath the head, so wherever is appropriate for you, so that you're not placing any strain in the neck. So let's take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, allow yourself to fold down and let go through the body. So again, the principles is to really soften and let go through the body. Let the body melt into each one of the shapes. We're now going to hold this shape for 3 minutes. So allow yourself to properly soften. Take a deep inhale once more. And as you exhale, sigh out the breath. And allow yourself to melt down towards the ground. Softening into the hips, into the back body. Let the arms just flop down towards the ground. Don't hold on to any tension. And then once more, working into that principle of stillness. So not fidgeting, not adjusting. The only time to adjust is if your edge is higher than a 5 to a 7 out of 10. Just noticing what this shape presents for you. Softening through your shoulders, through the back of your neck.
Just checking in, making sure that everything within the shape is soft. The target area here within the groin and into the lower back. Taking a few big sighs of breath, melting down a little further. Moving into our last 30 seconds here. Allowing yourself to surrender just that little bit more, whatever tension you find within the body. And then you can slowly start to roll out of the posture, gently drawing yourself back up into seated. Removing your bolster, slowly drawing your legs back together, just allowing yourself a moment in rebound. So often you'll feel strong sensation after each of these postures. Take your feet hip distance apart and gently allow your knees to roll over from one side to the other. Just gently stretching into the hip joints, moving the knees over from one side to the other, and then slowly sending your feet forward and giving your legs a shake. The next posture we're coming into is called melting heart. So you're going to come onto your knees in what is called tabletop position. So your knees are stacked underneath your hips and your wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders. And for this posture, you're going to slide your hands to the front of your mat and allow your forehead to drop down towards the ground. Then you can rest your elbows onto the floor and just rest your hands one over the other. So this is a lovely stretch through the whole of the spine. If you're not able to get your forehead down to the ground, you can take your book or your block and you can place the head on that. So whatever is appropriate to you here, please do that. Remember your edge that you are looking for. And then take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, sigh out the breath and allow yourself to just stay here now for 3 minutes. Soften through the shoulders, soften through the back body. Deeply inhaling and exhaling. The breath really helps to restore that movement of chi through the body as well. So use your breath here. So if you look at my posture, you'll see that my knees are stacked underneath my hips. So your buttocks are not close to your heels here, they're really just hanging out in the air. Your whole front body is melting down into the ground. Your shoulders are soft, your chest is open. Allow yourself to melt. Let go. If at all the posture becomes too intense for you, you can step out by bringing a block underneath your head, or just roll into child's pose, dropping your buttocks to your heels and wrapping your arms around your legs, letting them rest next to your feet. Just listen to your body. If this is the first time you're trying out Yin Yoga, the long holding of the postures may be a bit different and a little bit strenuous for you, so just listen to your body. We're moving into the last 30 seconds here. And you can slowly begin to press your palms into the ground as you gently raise your body back up. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Drop your buttocks to your heels for a moment. Let's counter pose in child's pose. Drop your forehead to the ground. Slowly bring your arms back. Allow them to settle. Your hands just touching the sides of your feet. And just take a few recovery breaths here, just feeling into your back body. Beautiful counter pose to melting heart. And then when you're ready, slowly slide your hands forward, gaze towards them and press yourself up once more into tabletop position. Let's take a couple of cat-cows to warm up and to loosen further through the spine. So you're going to drop your belly and inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, pull your navel to your spine, chin to your chest. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze forward. Exhale, navel to spine, chin to chest. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Coming into a neutral space, let's step our right foot forward to the front of the mat. We're coming into what is called dragon pose. So for this pose, if you are not able to take this lunge with your hands on either side, flat on the ground, you can take your books and place them underneath your hands to bring the ground a little bit closer and to give you a better stretch into this posture. So you're going to gaze forward. You've got some length through your spine here from the base all the way to the back of your head. If you feel you need your blocks a little bit higher or your book, you can turn them sideways and then press onto them there, whatever feels appropriate to you here. Gazing forward, take a deep inhale and exhale, sigh out your breath and release and let go. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. Softening into your shoulders, deep breaths. You can close your eyes as you allow your body to melt into the shape.
Moving into the last 30 seconds here, just really allow yourself to open up and sink down. And then slowly send your foot back. Bring your hands back down onto your mat. Just take a moment to wag your hips here from side to side, so feeling into your body. You should be feeling great. Yin Yoga really helps to open up where we feel stuck. Let's go to the other side now, so sliding the left foot forward. Very important here that we check for the alignment, that the knee never passes the toe, so we don't place too much strain on the knees. Now, if on this side you feel as though the back knee is a bit tender or you need a bit more extra support, you can fold your mat over and press the knee down onto the mat, or you can just use a rolled up towel or a folded towel or blanket. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly release and open up. Moving into the last 30 seconds here. And then slowly coming out of the posture, back into tabletop. You can move your blocks or books out to the side, just gently rocking your hips from side to side. You can drop your buttocks back down to your heels, just drop your forehead. Just take a little moment here feeling into your body. And slowly press the ground away from you, rolling onto your back body. So we're going to take a reclined twist here. So feet down to the edges of your mat. Draw your arms up overhead for a big stretch. And then as you exhale, slowly step your feet in towards your buttocks. So we're going to bring the arms out beside the body in cactus. So that means elbows in line with shoulders and wrists in line with elbows. And you're going to press down into the ground, raise the hips up, shift them over a little bit towards the right side of your mat. And then as you exhale, drop the knees over
towards the left side. And just keep the feet exactly where they are. Allow the body to soften and gaze up towards the ceiling. And let go. Take a deep breath. Exhale, sigh out and let go. Softening and sinking the body here. If you feel as though anything doesn't feel good, you can always use a prop to prop underneath the knees or whatever you feel is appropriate here. We're still here for another 2 minutes. Both of your shoulders are pinned into the floor. Your eyes are closed and your gaze is upward towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale and a big sigh if you need to shift energy here. Moving into the last 30 seconds. And you can slowly draw your knees up, back towards the ceiling. Straighten up your body once more. And we're going to shift over to the other side now. So pressing the soles of the feet into the mat, shifting them over to the left side. Gently allowing the knees to drop to the right side. Letting go once more. Softening through the toes and right through the body as you allow yourself to fully let go and relax. This is a beautiful twist pose, which is taking a lovely gentle twist through the side body, through the psoas muscle, through the thigh, wherever you're feeling this present for you. Moving into the last 30 seconds here, as you allow yourself to soften a little bit deeper.
Slowly rolling your knees back up on towards the ceiling, buttocks back onto the mat. Just take a moment, slowly hugging your knees into your chest, gentle rock from side to side, feeling into the back body where you've done some work. And then we're slowly going to send the feet back down to the bottom of the mat. Draw the arms up overhead. Hook the knees into the chest. It's an overcast day today. It's making me feel lazy. Let's roll up and over into child's pose. So for child's pose, you can take the knees out wide. So the knees can come onto the edges of your mat. Your toes are touching. Your buttocks remain seated on the heels as you send the arms forward and drop the forehead. Arms can just relax here. They're just soft. Take a deep inhale and sigh out on your exhale. Now, if any of this is challenging for you because your buttocks don't come down to the floor or your head doesn't want to go down to the ground, for the buttocks and the heels, you can use a rolled up towel here and place that underneath the knees just to give you a bit of support. For the head, you can bring your block or your book or whatever you've got, your pillow, and rest the forehead down to the ground. So take a deep inhale once more, sighing out on your exhale, and allow your body to melt here. Another great way to do this pose is to send your arms through the middle and just allow yourself to let go here. Bringing the hands onto the feet. Whatever works for you. Soften right through your body. Allow yourself to melt down into the earth. Allow yourself to sink into the ground, letting go and relaxing. Moving into the last 30 seconds here. Slowly coming out of your posture, pressing hands into the mat, pressing the ground away from you, rolling up and back onto the back body for final relaxation, which is called Shavasana. So it's corpse pose. You bring your feet to the edges of your mat and you allow your back body to lie back and bring your arms out beside you with the palms to face upward. This is a posture that is vitally important in any practice of yoga. It is the time we allow the body to assimilate the practice. We go into final relaxation, we allow the body to soak up the work that was done. We relax and scan through the entire body, letting go of any last bits of tension. Take a couple of sighs as you melt your body down into the floor. Beginning with the toes, the soles of the feet and your ankles. Letting go and relaxing. Moving up through the shins, the calves, and into the knees. Letting go and softening. Bringing awareness to the thighs, hamstrings, buttocks, hips, hip flexors. Just allowing yourself to soften and let go. Moving up into the belly, into the chest, into the shoulders, letting go and relaxing. Drawing awareness up from the tips of your fingers, through your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your upper arms, all the way up into your shoulders, softening and letting go. Unclenching your jaw, allowing your head to melt down. Take a last scan through your body as you let go. And then you can gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Take a big belly breath. Inhale. Sigh out on your exhale. Begin to move your fingers and your toes. Allow your head to roll over from one side to the other. And then drawing your arms up overhead. Take a deep stretch. Hug your knees back into your chest. Slowly roll over onto your side. Press yourself back up into seated. And allow yourself to come back and into your easy seat pose. Bringing your palms together to touch once more. Begin to rub your palms, generating some warmth. And then draw that warmth into your heart center. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, bow your nose down to the very tips of your fingers, taking a moment to acknowledge yourself for wherever you are on your journey. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in this beginner's Yin Yoga practice. I hope you found that it really helped you to de-stress and to feel some ease in your body. Wishing you a truly beautiful day further.